Okay, Tom's up. Tom says, absolutely love Hump Day Hangouts and haven't missed an episode since I started watching. That deserves a +1. For some reason, probably overthinking, I'm having trouble wrapping my brain around a concept. I'm starting a 2-author blog, both pen names, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to structure IFTTT networks. I'm familiar with creating persona networks as separate identities from the brand, but I'm not sure how to integrate persona into the brand. Since I already have 2 Google accounts set up for the pen names, the persona accounts are already started. So my thinking is to use one account to create a branded network in the corresponding persona network, and then use the other Google account to set up the second persona network. This would essentially result in a tier 1 branded network and two tier 1 persona accounts. Yeah, you can do that. So listen, here's the thing. If you have, and that's fine, guys. In fact, we talked about this. It might have been a mastermind or something last week, or one of the other webinars we did last week, but somebody was talking very similarly about having multiple authors. And, you can create an author feed from WordPress. Out of WordPress, guys, you can pretty much get an RSS feed for everything. Categories, pages, authors. You can even probably get an RSS feed from individual posts, I'm sure, and tags even. I'm not sure about tags, but I know that you can get RSS feeds from categories and authors, for instance. So what I would say is, for a setup like what you're describing here, Tom, that's not a bad idea. I always talk about only use one tier 1 network for a money site, but that's under most conditions, which are going to be where somebody has a money site that they're constantly publishing content to from basically one author. And I'm using air quotes now, right? From whoever that author may be, the company themselves or individual authors on the blog, whatever. However, in your situation, it does make sense to have a branded network for the blog, right? And then to have 2 persona-based networks that are the authors, and then feed the persona-based networks with the RSS feed, the author feeds, if that makes sense. So the branded network will get all posts from the money site, no matter who writes them, no matter who posts or publishes them, whether it's the company itself or individual authors, so to speak. But the branded network would get all posts. But then the IFTTT network for Persona 1 and Persona 2 would be updated or fed content from the respective author feeds, if that makes sense. And that's what I would do, because then essentially you are using multiple tier 1 rings at that point, but they're segmented and categorized or compartmentalized in such a way that is not spammy, in my opinion. Okay. Now, I haven't tested that myself. However, I can't see that being a problem. And I'd like to hear you guys' opinion on that as well. But I think that would work very, very well, is to have the individual persona or author rings being fed with their feeds, their author feeds only. What do you think? That was a cue for somebody. Yeah, crickets. I heard crickets. Okay, I guess nobody has any. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me? I don't know if this is live or not. And can you guys hear me?
Now we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was talking to the mic. I was just muted to say, hey, Bradley, I agree with you. You know, that's fun.
Okay.
All that build up just for that. All right.
Yeah. Right. We need to have the MP3 queued up for cricket sounds, like chirping crickets.
Right. That could be funny.
All right. So let's see. Let me just finish reading this. Also, there'll be 2. Is there any issue with having 2 YouTube channels syndicate the same content? I wouldn't do that. Well, you can do that with the same content across 2 channels, but I don't like to do that, guys, unless I'm using them for spam purposes only. Like, if you've got a money channel that you're going to be using that's associated with this whole setup here that we're talking about, then I don't recommend taking the same content from one channel and republishing it on other channels as well. I don't like to do anything like that to my money sites, guys, or money channels for that matter. If it's a spam thing that you're doing, specifically for spamming, then absolutely you can do that. And I'm not saying you can't do it with a money channel and then republish the same content to another channel. I just don't recommend it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay. Would it be better to keep one persona as a separate identity from the brand, i.e. not linked to the money site? No, again, I think, honestly, I haven't tested this, Tom. I can't give you 100% definitive answers, but I can tell you that it makes sense to have those individual author rings and have all of them linked back to the same source, because it's all from the same, like they're authors for that blog. So it's natural looking. It's logical. Guys, just think about it. Think about what looks natural and what do like some big sites do, for example. And big sites that have lots of authors. Well, the authors have their own feeds, and they probably syndicate their own content to their own social media networks, right? So that's all you're doing.